Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're continuing our series in the Brand New Player's Handbook, talking about the subclasses that we find within. Today, we're talking about a Sorcerer subclass. This isn't a new Sorcerer subclass by any means. No, it is in fact a reprint from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, with a couple tweaks in it, the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer. A fan favorite. This one takes the power of the astral planes of order, Mechanus and the like, taking the magic that holds the universe together and utilizing it in your own special way. And that's all well and good for thematics, but how does it work mechanically? We'll get into the details in just a moment. Before we do, though, I'd like to let you know, Relaxed Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know you're a supporter. Also, you get early access to my videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I upload them a day early for members only. And finally, you get VIP access in the community Discord. Anyone can join the Discord, it's free for all, but if you're a member of the channel, you get a special VIP room. You can ask me to review your characters, answer questions, just talk about D&D, anything you like, really. If any of that sounds interesting to you, you can click the join button. It's just down there next to the subscribe button. And if it doesn't interest you, that's fine too. Just being here at all, watching the videos, liking and subscribing to the channel, these are all wonderful ways to support me. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. So, unlike the old 5e rules, sorcerers now get their subclass at level 3 like everyone else. And so, starting at level 3, you get a couple features as a Clockwork Soul. First, you do get an expanded spell list, Clockwork Spells. This is a myriad of, interestingly, mostly healing spells. You've got yourself Aid, Lesser Restoration, Greater Restoration. You've got Freedom of Movement. Dispel Magic is on there, notably. And one of the best spells in the game, Wall of Force. An amazing spell that isn't normally available to sorcerers. Not every spell on this list is incredible. I think overall, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I might be convinced to give it a little higher just based on how good Wall of Force is, but all in all, I think 8 is a fair number. The other thing you get, the other feature you get here at Sorcerer 3 is the Restore Balance feature. This says when a creature that is within 60 feet of you is about to roll a d20, so this could be an attack, an ability, a save, whatever. If they're about to do it with advantage or disadvantage, you can use your reaction and eliminate that advantage and disadvantage. And it actually says very specifically, you can prevent the roll from being affected by advantage and disadvantage, meaning that if there are several things affecting a skill check that would normally cancel each other out anyway, you can just get rid of all of them. That's a handy thing if you've got a rogue in the party. One of the key things about rogues is that they have to have they can't have disadvantage to trigger their sneak attack. Even if they have advantage as well and it cancels out, the disadvantage stops sneak attack from happening. You can just get rid of all of it. You can do this a number of times per day equal to your charisma modifier, and typically it falls under one of two things. Either someone needs to make a really key save and they have disadvantage and you want to help them out so you get rid of it, or it can be an enemy, notably ones that have like magic resistance or something, and they would make like any spell save against spells with advantage. You can cancel that with Restore Balance. It's not the most powerful feature, but when it comes up, it's going to feel powerful. Just getting to tell the DM, no, you don't get to roll 2 dice, you get to roll 1. It makes things more fair, I guess. I think it's worthy of a 9 out of 10. It's a decent feature that is definitely going to be utilized relatively frequently. At level 6, you get the power Bastion of Law. You can use an action and a certain number of your sorcery points, anywhere from 1 to 5. You can create a magical ward and it can be around you, or it can be around a creature within 30 feet of you. The ward is represented by a number of d8s equal to the sorcery points you spend. When the creature takes damage, they can expend the dice that you ward them with and reduce the damage by a total of the dice rolled. A d8 averages to 4.5. So if you spent 2 sorcery points, for example, you could put a ward around someone and save them 9 hit points on average from an attack. Now, this doesn't take a reaction or anything, so it is technically action economy friendly, but it's incredibly expensive. A sorcery point for 5-ish, 4 or 5 health, that's a pretty steep cost, especially considering that you can turn sorcery points into spell slots, and spell slots can be used to defend or heal, all sorts of things. I'm not 100% sure this is worth it. There will be times when you have to keep an NPC safe or something and they don't have the ability to wear armor or cast spells to defend themselves. This ward could absolutely keep them alive for, an attack or two. I just don't think it's going to be something you're going to use a lot. I wouldn't use it on party members. I wouldn't use it on myself as a sorcerer unless I knew for a fact that I wouldn't need my sorcery points for other things, and I was going to be in a life or death situation. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. It's not useless, it's just expensive, and sorcery points are a premium cost. Maybe a little less so in the new player's handbook. They're a little easier to get back, but yeah. Now, next time, sorcerers get a features at level 14, so there's a bit of a gap. But at level 14, you get the Trance of Order, and this is a gangbuster feature. As a bonus action, you can enter a prophetic state. It says that you align your consciousness with the calculations of Mechanus. For the minute that you're in this state, any attack roll against you cannot have advantage. It simply is impossible to benefit from advantage. And whenever you make a d20 test, so that's an attack, an ability check, or a save, you can treat any roll of 9 or lower as a 10 on the d20. You can do this once per long rest for free, or spend 5 sorcery points to do it again. This is absolutely worth your sorcery points. The Rogue's Reliable Talent feature, which they get at level 7, has the same sort of power. Treat any roll of a 9 or lower as a 10, but it only works on skills, and specifically skills you're proficient with. This is all d20 rolls, all attacks, all saves, all ability checks, all of it. That is absolutely bonkers strong. And even at level 14, the ability to just say, I didn't roll that 2 on my d20, I didn't roll that crit fail, I didn't roll that 5, it's all 10s or higher. That's really, really good. Absurdly good. Especially when it comes to critical saves. I think that this is well worth a 10 out of 10. I would 100% use the free and seriously consider using the 5 sorcery points to do it again, at least once or twice a day. I'd be saving sorcery points for this feature. Finally, at level 18, you get the ability Clockwork Cavalcade. This allows you to basically, as an action, summon spirits of order. I think they would look like Modrons or other constructs. And they appear in a 30-foot cube. They're intangible and invulnerable, and they do one of a couple different effects. Either they can restore up to 100 hit points, divided as you see fit within the cube, so you can give it to yourself, your allies, whoever. You also can use them to repair any damaged objects inside the cube, basically instantly. Or every spell of level 6 or lower on all creatures and objects within that space suddenly ends. So it's a decent heal. At level 18, 100 hit points isn't incredible. Power word heal and mass heal are doing way more than this. But, you're doing this once per day for free, so it's not terrible. Repairing objects is also a bit of a niche one. It's that dispelling all spells of level 6 or lower. That's a lot of spells. There's a lot of magical effects. And this isn't a spell. This is a special class feature. So it can't be counterspelled, and you can just end magical effects like that as an action. Like I said, you can do this once per day for free, so that's awesome. And you can spend 7 sorcery points to do it again. Again, that's pretty expensive, but that's as a super dispel magic, it might actually be worth it in an emergency. For the healing, maybe not so much, but yeah, like overall, this is a pretty powerful feature. Even at level 18, a super dispel magic like that is going to come in clutch, especially when you're fighting spellcasters. It's really going to help. And if it isn't, then a once per day 100 hit point heal, sure, why not? I give this feature 9 out of 10. Overall, the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer is, surprisingly enough, not the most balanced of classes against, the better judgment of the name. You've got a way to cancel advantage and disadvantage, prevent damage from happening, balance out your dice rolls and the dice rolls of your enemies trying to attack you, and finally do healing, repairs, or a super dispel. There is flavor, there is power here. It's just not, anything that's blowing my hair back. That Trance of Order feature is probably the best thing here. A sorcerer with Wall of Force is always powerful. Everything else just kind of feels okay. I think overall, I think the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer is like a 9 out of 10. It's good. It's great in very specific circumstances. Other than that, it's good. You're not going to be complaining when you've got Restoration and Dispel Magic, and that canceling advantage and disadvantage is going to feel really good, when you pull it off and stop an enemy from making their save. I think 9 out of 10 is fair. It's a good rating. It's not the most powerful sorcerer by any means, but it is definitely a fun and thematic one that's going to feel very powerful a few times, in the campaign, certain amount of times in the day. You're going to get a lot out of this. So yeah, 9 out of 10. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.